Hello everyone, in this video I would like to talk to you about some common threads from the recent research paper project. I've called this research paper gone wrong. So I could have released an email with listing all these observations, but I felt it's best for me to release a video in which I discuss some of my observations. Now in doing this, I want to put more context to my observations and to mention that you all had different areas where you struggled in writing your research paper project, and I felt this would give you my perspective in addition to you reading my feedback comments. So the first one is thesis development problems. If you're in this category, those of you I would suggest that you see a tutor, a writing tutor. Don't be shy if you the comments may seem very because I try to be straightforward. There's not much I can do when if someone is struggling developing a thesis statement, I can just call it and say this is. Sometimes I try to help students by predicting what they're trying to do or what you're trying to say, but it's not always feasible because of time, and obviously I don't know what you're trying to say. Sometimes I could make a guess. If you try hard, maybe I could tell, but sometimes when students don't make any effort, it's difficult for me to tell where they're headed. So if you're in this category, you'll likely struggle with paragraph organization. You have logical problems in your paragraphs. Like one paragraph does not necessarily connect to the other. It's just like this, that, this, that, this, that. It's just like there is no sequence. There's no logical connection. So this is something that I would say. If you're in that category, don't be shy or ashamed. You can work on it. You can work with a tutor, and take your time too when you write. Don't just jump into writing and then submit, because you need time to work on your paper, then to think about what you've written. That can help you. The second observation is the inattention to MLA formatting instructions and conventions. So I noticed that some of you you just writing it in the way you want. You're not looking at formatting instructions, the style you use. Some of you are using italicizing headings when you're not supposed to be doing so. Some of you just dropping your works cited page without indenting it. So I created an activity. That was why I gave you an activity last week for you to complete, because I just too many of those instances. And learning how to cite MLA style is something that is covered in this course. And if you finish this course, that should be one takeaway. The second observation is some of you are writing below minimum page limits. So if you fall below the minimum page limits, you probably notice that you lost some points. Now, if you are close enough to it, I was lenient, but then you shouldn't be going below the minimum page limits. So I could be harsher for some of you, but there are some of you who just struggled. So your grades are impacted as a result of that, and I try my best to consider it. That's why I said, I could be very rigorous when it comes to like this, but if you're going way below. This includes your citing, then I had to take out points, and you should notice it affected your score. So you were supposed to turn in an image requirements. Some of you just doing whatever you want. Maybe no image. Some of you had an image, or you didn't even know how to cite. You just put in all the sources. So there's a lot of issues, and typically these are simple. So they are simple solutions. Just take a look at the sample essays I've posted or from the textbook, and that would help you to see how things are done. I understand that you have other classes, but if I'm going to grade your work and you have a rubric and I've told you about what to expect, you shouldn't be surprised if I deduct points from that. Then I also noticed there's an issue with students not understanding different writing contexts. Some of you wrote your research paper as if it's a reflection paper, or you just turned it into an informative essay where you just which is kind of like reading off of Wikipedia, where you're just giving me some history about the issue or topic you're writing about. So that doesn't get anywhere. it just takes me on a long journey. I'm like, okay, where is your position? How do you synthesize sources? So if you're in that category, you're probably struggling with synthesizing sources and trying to develop your own perspective. Another one is, which is a big one, is the lack of attributions and citations. So you're writing paragraphs here and there, and it's like, this paragraph you definitely borrowed, or your thoughts are influenced by some external source that you've read, but you don't give credit to that source. How do I know? Because the content of your conversation or your discussion is technical. And if you're getting into technical details, for instance, you should have some attributions. Even if, let's say, you're so smart that you know all these things that you want to tell me, still you need attributions. Like if you say, according to research, 60% of Americans are obese. Where did you get that from? Did that come from you? You should tell me according to New York Times. Don't just say according to research. Which research? Is it the one that you cooked up? Is it the one that you found out on social media? The one that your grandparents told you by their own guesstimation? So it's not clear. You need to be really specific. You need to provide attributions and citations. Again, I could be very strict about some of this, but these are some of the ways that some of you lost points. Overall, I would say there were a lot of B's and A's. There was no C. So I think that's good news. Maybe there was one B minus, but I could be more harsher if I wanted to. If I could be more stringent in grading. But I just wanted to let you guys know how I'm thinking about your papers and some of the common trends I've seen so far. So please take note of this. This will be one takeaway from the course, and maybe in the future you would have something to work with when you just to understand your own writing patterns. And for your research paper, you may have observed that I was more detailed. Like I won't always do this, and you've noticed different styles because I think feedback could be overwhelming. But research projects is a work in progress. I understand that you're still building your research experience and your research skills. So whatever feedback you've gotten on this paper, I want you to use it for your future. Don't say that because if you get some feedback, if you maybe the comments strike you as particularly maybe reveal certain weaknesses that you maybe are shy of. Take heart. I want to say that research is a work in progress. Don't feel that because you didn't do well on a research paper, then you can do better in the future. It's best for you to know some of your areas of weakness so that you can improve and do better next time. That concludes my review and my discussion of some common threads from the research project. Research papers gone wrong. Take care.